everyone. Welcome back to another episode with yours truly on Fry Time Media. Let me go ahead and get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It's still kind of cold, but it's getting warmer. Gotta zip the hoodie up, look presentable. You know how that goes. What's up, y'all? Peace to the chat. Peace to everybody getting in here. So you can see on the title, FBA folks that criticize the immigrants are lazy. Now I'm going to get into this. I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. But first I got to give some explanations and some terms, explain some of these terms that I'm using, because I don't really know who's watching this channel. I don't know y'all age group. I don't know how familiar y'all are with the whole debate between the FBAs and the immigrants. What is the FBA and all that good stuff. So I'm going to give y'all some explanations as far as some terms. And then I'm going to get into why I say the FBAs who criticize immigrants specifically, are lazy. And I've been guilty of this myself. So in this video, I am going to have to apologize for some of the terms that I've used too lightly, too loosely in some of my past videos. So I think one sign of maturity is the ability to accept accountability, the ability to apologize when you're wrong. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I was just checking out some of my old videos, and I said some things over the time. You know, I get on here and I just talk. You can see, you know, I drink water, but when I make these videos, they're not scripted. I'm not like writing this stuff down. I'm not like, you know, writing down or really thinking about what I'm saying. I'm just getting on here telling you what I think. So y'all gotta work with me, give me some leeway, give me some grace, because everything I say isn't going to be 100%, you know, accurate all the time or the best explanation of my thoughts, right? So let me use this opportunity to apologize to any immigrants that I might have offended in the past. So with that being said, let me get into these explanations. Let's get this video started. First of all, FBA. What is FBA? FBA is not fulfillment by Amazon, as I've seen some people think. No, FBA, when I'm referring to FBA, is Foundational Black Americans. So shout out and salute to Tariq Nasheed. He came up and coined this phrase, Foundational Black Americans. This is a relatively new term that's been used to explain the genealogy, the uniqueness of Black Americans. Now, in the past, we've been called African Americans, we've been called Negroes, we've been called freedmen. But now I think it's a growing trend for us to identify ourselves as FBA or ADOS. FBA being Foundational Black Americans, ADOS being American Descendants of Slaves. They're both interchangeable, but they both mean pretty much the people who've descended from slavery, the people who were in America for hundreds of years, the people who were in America, the Black people who were in America before 1900s, in the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, right? These are the FBA folks. That's my lineage. That's my grandparents. That's my great-grandparents, who, my mom, my dad, who through generations have been in the United States. So that's FBA. Now, why do I say that they're lazy for criticizing the immigrants? Well, I gotta be honest with you. There's another term that I'm gonna have to explain, and that's a tether. And this is really why I want to apologize to anyone I offended when using the term immigrants, because immigrants and tethers are not the same. Immigrants are just people who come to America looking to better their lives and better the lives of their family. There's nothing wrong with that. I, as an American, a Black American, an FBA, who have moved to other countries, China, Africa, Mozambique, South Africa, been to Ethiopia, I've been all over the world. Been to Russia, been to Mexico, been to Canada. You know, I've been all over the world. So I kind of have a better understanding of people's motivations for moving, wanting to see the world, wanting better for their family. I don't think there's anything wrong with somebody trying to move to a different place to better their life and the life of their family. However, there's something called a tether. Now, what is a tether? A tether refers to an immigrant who moves to another country and then insults, demeans, or diminishes the people of that country who have helped build that country. So I, as a Black American, cannot move to China and then criticize Chinese people for building up a shithole country, right? They built this country. Why would I move to it and then criticize them who already stayed where they're from, built up their own area. It's wrong to go to their area and then criticize them. I cannot go to Mozambique and say, oh, you Mozambicans, you're so stupid. You let the Portuguese conquer you. You living in the poorest country on earth. But dude, you're here. You are here. Why would you come to a place? Why would you go to another country and then criticize the people in that country? That's very disrespectful, but that's what the tethers do. And tethers is not just a low-brow type of person. We have tethers who are in politics. We have politicians. We have coons. Candace Owens comes to mind. We have media personalities. We have different types of educated and uneducated immigrants who come to America and choose to tether themselves to the black community. They try to blend in and say, hey, we're all black. So just because I'm an immigrant and I came to America 20 years ago, that doesn't make me any different than you who are from America and stayed in America for hundreds of years. No, that's not true. I, as a black American, cannot go to Mozambique and 10 years later say, I'm a Mozambican and we're the same. No, that's not how it works. If I move to Mozambique, move back to South Africa, move to Mexico or wherever have you, I can't go to another country, spend 10 to 20 years there and say that I'm the same as the original inhabitants of that land. It just doesn't work that way. I cannot move to China, stay there for a few years and then say I'm Chinese. It doesn't matter if I learn Chinese, ni hao ma. No, it doesn't. No, just because I learn the language and get a job in your country does not make me Chinese, just like it doesn't make black immigrants, Hispanic immigrants, or whatever have you who come to America the same as us who have been in this country for generations, for hundreds of years. We are not the same. We are two unique groups, two distinct groups, right? And we have our distinct interests. Pushing laws like the DACA program, the Dreamers Act, programs that are beneficial to immigrants can help a lot of black immigrants, can help a lot of Hispanic immigrants, but it would not help me or my family as a black American who has been in America for generations. It just does not benefit me because all of my family is already here. Whereas pushing for immigration reform for you as a Haitian or you as a Jamaican or you as an African, that might help you to get your cousin over here. That might help you get your uncle over here, your brother, your sister, your mom, right? So changing the immigration laws can help benefit immigrants and it can help benefit tethers, but it does not so much help black Americans. Now, those are two very important things that I need to distinguish right off the bat. What's the definition of an FBA? I've explained that. And what's the definition of a tether? And what's the difference between tethers and immigrants? Because there is a specific difference. With that being said, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I grew up in Washington, D.C. I'm a D.C. resident. Shout out my dad, my dad's dad, my dad's dad's dad, who've all been in D.C., all, D.C. natives. We've been there for generations. And that's not even counting my mom's side from LA versus from Virginia. For generations and generations, both sides of my family have been in America. So shout out to the elders, shout out to the ancestors who made me what I am today. With that being said, I need to apologize to the immigrants because all immigrants are not tethers. That apology is specific to the immigrants because that does not mean that tethers do not exist. Tethers certainly exist. They are a problem. They do undermine black Americans. But it's important to understand and it's important to remember that all immigrants are not tethers. The reason I say FBA folks that criticize immigrants are lazy is because they're lazy, and I was lazy at some times in my life in some of these videos that I've made because I've failed, and as many other FBA folks are doing and have done, I've failed to distinguish the difference between the immigrants and the tethers. When I criticize some of these folks who come to America and try to undermine black Americans, especially in this push for reparations, right now we are, as black Americans, as FBA folks, we're really pushing for reparations. We're getting a lot of momentum, and some of our hugest detractors happen to be tethers. But when we're attacking or when we're pointing out the tethers, we have to be careful not to insult all the immigrants because we, as FBA folks, are going to need the help and the assistance of these immigrants who are coming, who are recently became U.S. citizens, have the right to vote, and we're going to need the immigrant support. So it's important that we distinguish the difference between immigrants and tethers and remind the immigrants, hey, it's all love. We don't disrespect the immigrants. We do appreciate your love and your support, and we love and support y'all right back. So that's important. That's a key distinction that I want to make. So as I was saying, the tethers are the problem. The tethers are just saying, oh, we don't need reparations because they don't qualify. But I know as a DC resident, as a DC semi-native, that we have a large immigration population in DC. Some of my best friends, some of the most support I've ever received to this day, come from immigrants, Ethiopians, Cameroonians, Puerto Ricans. I've got Nigerians. I got Haitians, you know. I got a lot of friends. I got a lot of friends in DC. I got a lot of friends all over the country, many of whom are immigrants, and it's all love. Some of y'all are going to watch this video and know exactly what I'm saying, know exactly who I'm talking about when I say, yo, I rock with the Ethiopians, with the Habesha brothers. You know who I'm talking to if you watch this video. You know who I'm talking to when I say I rock with the Haitians. You know P. You know, hey, shout out P. You know who I'm talking to when I say that, all right? And there's more than one P, but that's just a, you know what I'm saying, just a little slight something, because he know when he watched this video. You know, shout out you, bro. You already know. I rock with the Haitians. I rock with the Ethiopians. I rock with the Puerto Ricans. What's good, bro? What's good? You already know what's going on. So it's a lot of immigrants who show love, who have unity with the Black Americans. And I think, especially on this internet, it's easy to come out here and say stuff on the internet that we mean or we only halfway mean. And then you get into the real world and it's like, yo, you was just talking about the immigrants the other day, but now I see you rocking with them in real life. Like, make it make sense. But when I come on here and I say, you know, a lot of these immigrants are doing X, Y, and Z, that's a failure on my part to distinguish the difference between the immigrants and the tethers. So I do need to apologize for that. I need to, in the future, you're going to see that I make a more concerted effort to say the tethers are causing this division. The tethers are causing this backlash. The tethers are causing this this friction between the FBAs and the tethers and the immigrants. Because you know what happens a lot of times is the tethers will come over here shouting out Jamaica, shouting out Haiti, shouting out Africa. They'll make their videos dissing FBA, saying that we're all lazy, we're all Pookies and Ray Rays, we don't have no job, we're lazy, we're sagging our pants, we're all gangbangers. These are the things that the tethers will say, but then they'll run back and hide behind the immigrants. So then when us FBA start shooting back, then the immigrants are getting hit and they're like, yo, why are you shooting at us? We're immigrants, we're just here trying to work and better our family, better our lives. Why are you shooting at us? It's like, listen, we're not disrespecting all the immigrants, but y'all got some tethers behind you, and hey, they got to get hit. You know what I'm saying? They got to get this work, because we can't just keep getting passes to all these tethers coming over here being disrespectful after we as FBA fought hard in the 60s and before that time to give y'all the rights that y'all are enjoying today. So this video, I'm going to keep it short. I think it's 15 minutes. That's long enough. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to quickly clarify my position as far as the difference between immigrants and tethers, and I'll give you a quick apology. My apologies, my deepest, sincerest apologies to the immigrants who might have felt offended by some of my old videos. In the future, I'll try to do a better job distinguishing between the two. When I'm shooting at these tethers, I want y'all to know it's all love to the immigrants, but it's all hate and all disrespect and all fire burn the tethers. You dig? Peace.